Hello and welcome to the April edition of Community Connect, brought to you by the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. This month's guest is Cindy Verschaetse. She's with Bremer Bank, but she's representing the Women's Conference. Thanks for being my guest this month.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about March. A lot of things happened in March. First off, we are in month number 3 of these gems. These are the coupon books that promote shopping local. If you have not gotten your book yet, it is well worth it. It is a $30 book. There's $25 coupons. There's actually $50 coupons in here, so one coupon can pay for these books. These books, again, are our biggest fundraiser for the Marshall Chamber. Recapping some of the events, the State of the City address was on Wednesday, March 9th, and it was a fabulous event, as always. It's the 4th year that we've had it, and we had over 130 attendees. Cindy, you were at this event this year, right?
I was, yeah. It's always a really good event to find out what's happening in the city and with the progress that's been done and where we're headed. It's really a great event.
I've heard
Bob and Sharon just do such a fabulous job.
They do, and I've heard multiple times from people, they don't want to leave because they want to keep hearing more information. It's exciting. I think 2022 is going to be a pretty good year.
It is exciting.
Another event that I know you've been involved with in the past is the Shamrock Shuffle. The Marshall Area YMCA Shamrock Shuffle was held on March 19th. I know it was really nice, mild weather this year.
The weather cooperated. I have run the event before when it's been snowing and very cold, but yeah, so they were lucky this year. And it's always a fun finish when you can go and finish at Brow and partake with the community. So it's well planned.
Right. Of course, it was 2 days after the St. Patrick's Day, so I'm sure there's plenty of green beer. The Culligan Water Home Show was held on Saturday the 26th and 27th. Aaron Zemer was our guest last month to talk about it. That was a great event. I was excited to be there, and it was fun to see the amount of vendors there. When I showed up on Saturday, the parking lot was packed. So thanks to all the vendors that came, and thank you to everybody that came out to attend. A couple days after, the Moms Expo was held at the Marshall High School. I don't know how many years the Moms Expo has been around, but I know it was very well attended. Have you ever been to the Moms Expo?
I have not been to the Moms Expo. I did go to the home show, which was very well attended, yeah. But I have not. I know presenters that have done the Moms Show, and they say it's a really, really good event. But
good. And although it was just in April, the Youth Sports Expo was just on Saturday. So that was the first time ever. It was well attended. There's a lot of different associations that came, so I also went through this. Actually, both my kids were involved that morning with their respected groups that they're associated with too. So thanks for everybody coming out, and to Cassie and to AJ for putting that on. Did you go to that?
I didn't go to that.
Gosh, that was fun. You know, there were people that were just wanted to see what it was about. Their kids were not necessarily age appropriate for being that day, but gosh, it was a great event. One of our camera guys that's giving me the thumbs up was there on behalf of rugby. So yeah, who knew who rugby was actually here in Marshall, but it is. So, all right. With that being said, again, Cindy is here with Bremer Bank. However, she is here to talk about the SMSU Foundation Women's Leadership Conference, which is going to be held on Friday, April 29th, and she's been very involved in planning on this conference since its inception. So, Cindy, give us some history about the Women's Conference, and why did it start, and when did it start?
So 4 years ago, we came up with the idea to have the Women's Conference. So I sit on the SMSU Foundation Board of Directors, and at that time we had different committees. So I was in the fundraising committee, and the chair at the time kind of challenged us to find new and different ways to raise money for scholarships and students at SMSU. So I leaned over to Stacy Frost at the end of the meeting and said, Stacy, what do you think about a women's leadership conference, with the idea that the funds raised from the conference then go to fuel a scholarship for female leaders on campus in their junior and senior years. So the idea was to attract students to campus and then also retain them with the scholarship. So that was the idea of the junior and senior year. And so kind of get them on campus, get them involved in things, and then be able to offer a scholarship to the female leaders on campus. So,
of course, we love that. Of course, we're always trying to keep the kids here on campus. SMSU is doing the same. Now we just had to keep them here in town after they get down to college, too, on that note. So the event is highlighted by the quality of speakers. And I don't know, for the watchers out there, go on Facebook because you won't be disappointed to see the speakers. The breakout session presenters, which includes Keynote Joe Saxton. Can you tell us a little bit about Joe and what her connection is to SMSU?
So a number of years ago, Stacy Frost, who is the director of alumni engagement, and so she was able to be at a conference where Joe was the speaker. And at the time, Joe had written the book, The Dream of You, which we have. But this year at our conference, she's going to speak on the topic of her newest book, which is called Ready to Rise. So it's all about owning your voice, gathering your community in, so building your network of people, and then stepping into the influence. And she really talks about finding your own gifts and being the voice at the table and making sure you're at the right table, and not just being at a table for the sake of being at the table, but really knowing where your talents lie and how you can utilize those. So we're really excited to have Joe, and we're really thankful because we've had a bit of interruption with our conferences. So the first year we had it scheduled, we had a blizzard, so we had to postpone that.
Yep.
So that was the end of April. So let's cross our fingers that doesn't happen again this year. And then, of course, we all know COVID hit, so that put a pause on our second year. Then we did last year all virtual, and so this year it's going to be in person. And Joe has been with us on contract for 3 years and stuck with us through it all. So we try to get our speakers a year in advance because they book up so fast. Mm-hmm. So we're excited that Joe is still with us, and she's going to be here at the end of the month.
Oh, very exciting. You're right. I remember the first year, because there was 2 huge blizzards in April, 2 big ones. And that was one of them that got, I think they're we're lucky to keep her engaged with us.
Yeah.
How far is she coming for this?
So she actually lives in Minneapolis.
Okay,
so
good.
This is the first time we've had a speaker that's right in Minnesota.
Oh, good.
So our other speakers have come from out of state. So this is nice that she'll be right here in Minneapolis and close connection. So.
Other than Joe, there's a couple of other strong alumni that are coming in to be speakers. One is Charlie Gamber, and the other one is Carla Munkel. Tell us a little bit about Carla and Charlie.
So Carla is a Marshall resident, so we're excited about Carla. And all of our breakout session speakers every year, we try to bring back alumni and successful alumni that have reached kind of the pinnacle of their career, so we can highlight that to the students and to other people that we've got a lot of really successful alumni that come from Southwest. So Carla has written a book as well. We're excited because we have 3 authors this year as our speakers. So Carla has written a book as well, Breakthrough Leadership. And she has been a speaker at our Women's Connect for the Marshall Chamber, which is a local monthly women's networking group. So Carla spoke on her book at that meeting, and again, I said to Stacy, we got to get Carla this year for women's leadership. And then Charlie also is an alum of Southwest, and she's going to talk on burnout. So she's had in her work experience building on a career and a busy work life and trying to balance all that out. So she's going to talk a little bit on burnout. So what's really fun with our speakers every year is their topics really mesh together. And so we don't really plan it that way when we seek out the speakers, but just their topics seem to really blend together really well. So, and then we have a 4th speaker, which is Rana DeBoer, and Rana came through us through Charlie. So Rana is from Sioux Falls, and she owns her own business. And so she is going to speak at during the lunch.
Good.
So,
very exciting. Is she connected to the DeBoers in town?
I don't believe so. But it seems like a pretty common name around here.
Right,
so
right.
we'll try to make that connection. But
new this year is a networking breakfast. Obviously, when you get a big group of people together, they want to network. Tell us a little about that.
So a lot of what Joe talks about in her books is networking and mentoring and building that community of people around you, so that at times if you're at that board table and you might be the only female at the board table and it feels a little awkward and clunky, and then how do you build that community of people around you so when you get out of that meeting you're like, whoa, like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? So we thought it would be really a kind of, and mentoring the students at Southwest, since it is a fundraiser for scholarships, and trying to build that corporate and campus network of people. So we have the alumni come back, and then we have students. It's really tough because it's the week before finals.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard for the students to get here because their classes are kind of wrapping up, and then they go right into finals week. So we're going to encourage the students to come. They're free to attend the conference, and then we'll try to make those connections throughout the day, but being very intentional throughout the whole day, starting it off with a networking breakfast. We'll have our corporate sponsors there with booths set up so that the students can kind of connect with some of our corporate sponsors, both locally and regionally, and then just try to keep working the campus and students, and like you said earlier, to try to keep them here once they graduate from Marshall. If we can connect that corporate entities right here in Marshall, try to keep them here. So
Absolutely. So we've talked about. I love it that this raises scholarships. So if people are interested, what is the best way to get registered?
So on the SMSU Foundation website, the registration link is out there, or you can call directly to Southwest and they can get you signed up. Registration is open to the day of the conference, so you can even show up the day of the conference and just come. We're super excited. The registrations are starting to really flow in. It's a little bit slower or a little bit late just because of COVID. It just kind of paused everything. And but you can still register up to the day of the event. Show up. We'd be happy to have anybody who wants to come. But SMSU Foundation website is the best place to go to register.
Super. Well, good. Thanks for being here. We're going again, it's on April 29th, the last Friday of April. And you're right. Gosh, we need some good weather.
We do need some good weather. We're ready to turn the corner here in winter.
So let's talk about a little bit about what else is going on in April. The Lyon County Pheasants Forever Spring Banquet is this upcoming Saturday the 9th. This is going to be at KB's in Ghent from 5:30 until 10. Registration details are on our website, as well as if you go to our community calendar, the women's conference information is on our website too. The 37th annual Prairie Home Hospice charity event and auction is also going to be held on Saturday 23rd at the Red Baron Arena. This is always guaranteed to be a good time. Oddly enough, I love going to charity events, but I've never gone to that event.
It's a good event. It's a very good event. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually hope to go this year. The same night, this doesn't happen very often, but the same night, the Marshall High School Hall of Fame banquet is at the Marshall Golf Club. The nominees this year are Bo Bofferding, Nicole Peterson, Porath, Macy Michelson, Mike Fensky, Tyler Gimstad, and Donnie Wickman. So if you're interested in that, be sure to reach out to the Marshall High School. As we mentioned already today, the SMSU Women's Leadership Conference, again on Friday, April 29th. The day after that, the City of Marshall, SMSU, and Visit Marshall are putting on World Fest. After 30 years of the International Food Festival at SMSU, this event is being reimagined and held indoors at the Red Baron Arena and Expo on Saturday, April 30th. You've been to this?
I have been to this. It's another great event, and I think we had an FCA event over the weekend here, and I think I said to somebody, when we can have events like this in the community, I encourage everybody to get out and partake, because it's a really nice cultural event to partake in.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. So I have a junior this year. He's in prom. That's the same day, so it's right across the road. So I'm hoping there's going to be some time between pictures and everything, all the other hoopla that's going on that day. This is my I'm a first-time prom parent, so hopefully I can sneak over and get partake in some of the exciting stuff going on at the Red Baron Arena. As you can see on the screen right now, the Chamber has 4 events this month, but I wanted to point out one, and that's our Young Professionals event, which will be at Ace Hardware. This will be, they'll be hearing about home improvement tips, and they're going to have a scavenger hunt on that same day. Also, Women's Connect, and you'll see on Let's Connect, and there's one other one that you'll see on the screen, trust me. All these events in April, And our member events can be found at marshallmn.org or our website at visitmarshallmn.com. So yet another very busy April, and just spring in general. Of course, we haven't even really touched on the spring sports that you can count on for Marshall High School and SMSU sports too, which is exciting. So thank you again for being my guest. It was great to hear about the Women's Conference. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again in May.